I think my first ever kiss was to a T-Rex record. My brother Richard, who was 18, he was the one with all the music and all the kind of flash clothes, all the kind of scoop neck T-shirts and big flares and big platforms. And he had a big party when he was 18 at our house. And there was a girl who was a friend of his called Brenda Ritchie. She was a big thing with bushy red hair and great big lips. And I remember for years and years and years I was kind of really terrified of kissing girls. What if I do it wrong? I remember it might have been a T-Rex record, something like Mel Garou playing in the background, but she grabbed me and stuck her lips on mine and taught me how. And I think that's why I turned out to be gay. Taking a few steps back along the Monopoly board, I missed out somebody from my youth, which was Gladys Knight. Amongst all the kind of 70s glam, there was a lot of soul music coming into London. Stuff like Gladys Knight and the Pips, the Stylistics, all these kind of very strange American records, which I loved. And I used to sit in my room and listen to a lot of Gladys Knight, you know, dreaming about being in love and finding the perfect guy. And one of my favorite songs was Midnight Train to George, but there's so many. It's very hard to kind of choose a few songs because I've grown up with so much music and I have so many records. So anything by Gladys Knight will be good because I think she has the most incredible voice, really almost like what I call a laughing, crying voice, very, very unique and very special. I think that she's really the kind of uncrowned queen of soul, for me anyway. This is Gladys Knight. When I was a teenager, I was really into kind of rock music, you know, stuff like Bowie and punk stuff. We used to go to a lot of punk gigs, and then afterwards we would go cruising at gay clubs, and I hated the music. It took me years and years to kind of appreciate dance music because I thought it was really plastic. And one day I was in a club, I don't know where I was, and I heard I Feel Love, and it blew my mind. Donna Summer, although I think she's a bit of a cow really because of the things she said about gay people, so I can't appreciate her music anymore, but I used to love it for such a brief moment. One of my other favourite groups at the moment is a group called the Smashing Pumpkins, an American band, and one of my favourite tracks of theirs is Today, and there isn't any kind of deep reason why I like this song, it's just that it's very dreamy and it kind of reminds me a little bit of T-Rex. I think the singer looks a bit like a kind of young Mark Bolan. And I just like the vibe. I like the energy of the band. I like the video. I think it's really, really kind of uplifting and positive music. You know, when I look at sort of the singer in Take That singing, it's like he's just not connected to what he's singing. And it's kind of depressing, whereas something like Everybody Hurts by R.E.M. is deeply sentimental. I mean, it really touches you in your heart. When I heard this song, I thought it was probably one of my most favourite songs of all time because I think it really is a message to everyone, you know, because everybody feels pain, everybody feels sad. This is real sadness. This is Everybody Hurts. One of the things that I would love to do is to do like a jazz record. I mean, I was very jealous when Sinead did her jazz album because it's something I've always dreamed of doing. You know, I love those kind of sassy, jazzy voices, and I love the lyrics. I mean, some of my favourite jazz records are from like the 1930s, which were stuff like Bessie Smith, which was real, almost like very sexual music. I mean, in its day, it was really considered quite outrageous, and I love all that stuff. I think that, you know, music today, pop music today has become very, very safe. I mean, there's nobody really that blows my mind. Very few people anyway. I mean, it's all become almost like advertising chewing gum or some kind of soft drink. I think videos have really, really destroyed the mystery of pop music. When I was 13 and David Bowie came to Lewisham, it was such a big thing for like 6 months before and 6 months after, and I remember that concert and, you know, just being transfixed. I mean, screaming like a little girl, pretty much like the Take That fans, except I think it was something worth screaming about. Well, this has been a matter of taste, and of course taste is a relative thing, but I hope you've enjoyed sharing some of my musical favourites and some of my memories. Goodbye.